Hello friends, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to cover the Excel automation part. So if you consider for the automation anywhere, so we have the Excel, like for the Excel automation, we have three different packages like Excel Advanced, Excel Basic and Microsoft 365 Excel. So what is the major difference between these three? So we will cover for these two at least for the Excel Basic and Advanced. So for the Excel Basic, the processing will be in the background. That means the file will not be opened whenever you are processing. And the main thing will be if the Excel is not installed on your machine where you are supposed to run the bot, so then also it will be executed. All the commands under Excel Basic package. Then let's move on to the Excel Advanced. So this will be the front end processing. That means the whenever you are performing any Excel operations, so the file will be opening in the front end. You can able to see all the operations. Those are to be performed, and for this Excel Advanced package to be used, the Excel should be installed on the machine wherever you are supposed to run the bot. So this is the major difference between Excel Basic and the Advanced that we have to note down. And if you want to use the Microsoft online version, that is 365, then we can go with this online version of the Microsoft Excel. So these are the three options we have available uh, under the Automation Anywhere Excel automation. So this is one thing. And then for the Excel automation, we are going to see the session variable for multiple Excel file operations. That means if you want to perform the Excel operations from like copying the data from one Excel to other or from two to three Excel, you have to merge it in a single Excel file with different sheets. So you can use the different session names for that will be mapped with the individual Excel file with unique session name. So we will see that. Then that there are different operations we can perform as like read, write, then create the workbook, worksheet. Then we can use the set cell. Then we can use the find command. Then we can save that file. We can close that. And again, get worksheet as data table. And through that data table, we can loop over that particular data table. So actually, there are lot many commands to be performed in the Excel Basic and the Advanced package. But due to time constraint, we will cover these few commands. So let's start with the Excel. So this is the basic and advanced difference that we have already discussed. So let's start with the session variable. So let's use the open command. So let's use the Excel Advance. So I will put it inside of the try catch block so that if any error comes, so we will be notified with the help of this message box. So let's use the Excel Advance open, then desktop file. So we need to locate the file location. Let's put it into the desktop, then test Excel. Again, if you can go with the second one. Okay, but before that, let's go to the folder and create one more file. test excel underscore 2, and this is the first one. So let's put some dummy data. So this is the one dummy data that we have put it in the Excel 1, that is the test Excel. And what we are supposed to do is we have to copy this particular data from this Excel 1 to the test Excel 2. So I will just copy this as a path, copy as path, and I will put it in the second open command. I will paste this. I'll remove the double quote extra. And as we have seen that we have set the headers in that particular sheet. So let's keep it as sheet contains header. And if you want to give the sheet name, so we can give it as a specific sheet name, or if there is a single sheet, then it is not necessary to mention the sheet name, and it should be in the read write mode. And yes, this is the session, local session variable or any name that we have to provide for the particular Excel. So this is one local session we can maintain. So local session will be valid for only this particular bot. And if you want to use this particular Excel throughout all your process, like through all the different bots with the same session name, then in that case you have to go with the global session. So you can see here global session name can be used in parent and child bots. So this can be one common name for all the subtask and master task for this process. And there is one more, that is we can create one variable as well. So let's go with the simple one, the local session. Let's say input Excel. So let's maintain this one for the input file, input Excel. And this is the second file. So here we will not, so it's a blank file. So we will keep the first as it is, everything. And here we will put the different session name as output, output Excel. Now actually for copying the data from one Excel to other, so there are actually 2 to 3 options, or actually let's say there are few different options, like we can use the data table, like get worksheet as data table. It will copy all your entire data into one data table. This one, Excel Advanced, get worksheet as data table, and we can copy all that data table into the second sheet, that is Excel Advanced, right from data table. So this will be the direct copy and paste from one sheet to other Excel, like one Excel to other Excel. This is one method. Second one, we can use the Excel Advanced get single cell that is cell by single cell by cell value. So this is also one, but this will take more time. Get single cell and in the second sheet as set cell. This is one way, or either you can go with the get worksheet as data table, then loop through each let's say row by row. That is get worksheet as data table, loop it through and get the data in the record variable, read it using the headers or with the help of indexing if there are no headers, and set it into the another Excel using the set cell one by one. And even there is one more option for going with the database. Connect your local Excel as a DB database with connection string and perform the operations. So that is also another quick way to perform this. Let's use this get worksheet as data table. So here we have to give the specific session name so that this particular along with header. So this will be the input Excel. Let's copy the session name. Active worksheet, sheet contains header. Keep that enable. And we have to create the table variable. Table Excel worksheet data or table input Excel. This is the we have copied the data from one Excel to into the data table, and now right from data table below the second file where we have opened that, and let's copy the session name for the second file where we want to copy the data. Output Excel, and let's okay. So for this right from data table, so we have to provide the name of the data table variable that we have already created from the Excel 1. Then active worksheet, as there is only one single sheet. If you want, you can specify the sheet name. Then we have to specify the first cell from where we are supposed to enter the data. So keep it as A1, that is from the leftmost corner. And the session name, yes, it has to be output Excel. So that session name should be for this file, the output file which we have opened, output Excel. And after that, we have to save the file, save and close, Excel Advance, save workbook. This is the second one. So session name has to be output Excel, save workbook, and then close, Excel Advance, close, and session name. The session name is important for all the activities performed by the Excel. And here also we have the option as save changes when closing the file. So by default, this is also an option for save the file. But so we can use either direct close with this option enabled and by giving some delay in between. Okay, and let's add one comment in between so that we can differentiate the code. This is our input file. this is output file, and this file also we need to close. So I will just copy the same command, but I need to change the session name. Input Excel, otherwise it will throw the error. Input Excel. So what the code is now going to perform is, it will read the input Excel file, then it will get all the content from the input Excel into the data table, that is get worksheet as data table, then it will close that file, then it will open the output file without any header with different session name. It will write that particular data table into the output file from cell A1. It will save that workbook and close. So let's run this. Okay, let me show okay, let's put one message box over here. There is no need of message box. So let me show you both the files first. This is the input Excel from where the data will be picked. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's duplicate the data. Save it and close this. So this data will be, added in this particular sheet starting with A1, test Excel 2. Now let's run the bot. And everything we can see, the file is open and close in the front end as it's a Excel Advanced package. So it is opening the file. It will close, and this is it has written the data in the second file and close. So let's see test Excel 2. Now you can see here the data has been added. So all the data from the Excel sheet 1 input Excel has been copied to the test Excel 2. So this is the one way of, for direct copy paste the data. Okay, we can save and close all the files. Then okay, now what we will do, instead of writing from the data table, let's comment this. We will disable this, and we have the data table. Okay, we have opened the output file over here. Okay, now what we will do is we will use the loop over here, and we will use the data table for each row in data table. This is the table variable, and let's create the record variable where the row by row data will be stored for each row from data table, record table row. And we have the headers already enabled. See, if you want to use the name of the header for identifying the name of the column, so this has to be enabled. Sheet contains header. Whenever you are opening the file, And the second checkpoint is whenever you are putting all the data into the data table, Excel advanced get worksheet as data table. So here also you need to check this checkbox. If this checkbox is not enabled, the runtime we will get the error as like the key not found, like first name, last name, whatever the name of the header, so that you will not be able to find. So this has to be enabled. Now what we will do, we will use the command as set cell. Excel advanced set cell. Sorry, this has to be inside the loop. Set cell. Yes, two are sufficient. So we have to use the specific cell, and now we have to loop through uh, row by row, and also we have to increment the value of the row. So what we will do is we will use the number variable to get the counter. So let's assign the one number counter before starting of the loop. Let's assign the value 1 to the n counter, and inside this let's increment this by $n counter. So what we are doing is initially before starting the loop on the output file, we are assigning one counter variable and its value is 1, and we have to set the value as first name and last name in the column. Okay, let me show you column A and B. Okay, now I will make the okay, let's keep the header as it is in the output file, and data is blank. So the first cell should be A2. Okay, otherwise it will again throw the error. So in the output file, we will start from A2. As for the first row, we have the headers, we will set it as manually, or either using the bot also we can set cell as headers first name last name as A1 and B1. So now if you observe the name of the columns A and B, so they are fixed, like A2 first name and B2 last name. Then again A3 first name, B3 last name, then A4, B4. So the name of the column A and B are same, only we need to increment the name of number of the column number 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we will increment that, and before that we will set this counter to 2 and increment by 1, and before that we need to set cell. So what I will do, specific cell A, and the name as an counter, and as it's a string we need to convert it to .to string. Okay, and what value we are supposed to set is, now we have to use the record variable. So what is the record variable here? Record table row. Okay, so I will use the set cell value. I will insert the variable record table row and add the expression item by name. So if you want to select by name or index, so let's go with the by name, as currently we know the headers. So headers always copy it from the Excel as it is, because if any spelling or any spacing issue comes, so it will throw the error. So always we have to copy it from the Excel record table row first name. So that value will be set in this particular A. Second one, specific cell B and counter dot to string and value as insert value as record variable record table row by name, go to the Excel and copy this header and the one more important thing is session name. If you see, this is by whenever you select any command, this is a by default, this is the value default. So we have to change this, otherwise there will be the error. So in this particular, for the output file, what is the session name that we are maintaining? Output Excel. So let's keep the same name, output Excel. Let's save it. The counter will be incremented one by one. Okay, for better understanding, we will keep the delay in between. Delay of 2 seconds. Just we are putting this delay for our understanding to see the how it is going to set the values one by one. Okay, and before running, let's close these files. Let's save it and close this. Okay, now we are good to go for uh, running the bot. Let's run this. It has read the data in the data table, and now you can see one by one it is going to write the first name, last name, and we have put the delay of 2 seconds just to validate or just to see the output. So one by one all the records will be entered from the data table to output file, and once the records are completed it will save the file and close it. So this is another way where we can use this particular method to copy the data one by one from one Excel to other using the get worksheet as data table. Okay, and again if there is one command called as find Excel Advance. Okay, okay. So I will disable all the commands for the second file, the output one. And I will use the find command for input Excel. So find will it will search for particular value. Let's say, okay, let's open the input file and okay, I want to search for this particular value, Paul 3. I will use this one unique value because only Paul is repeated. So I will use this one. From beginning to end, find Paul 3 by rows. And yes, the session name has to be same. So I will copy this Now the find command, what it will do, it will find the specific string into that particular Excel file, and it will return the list variable where its cell address will be stored. The output of that variable of that activity is a list, lst Excel cell address. And let's put one message box to see the output, and we will validate that function f2 lst list, and we will access the its value by index 0, that is the first value from that list. So that will give you the cell address of Paul 3. So let's close this. So that has to be B4 because Paul 3 is at cell location B4. Okay. So let's validate this using the bot. So I will run this. So we can see the Excel is open. Okay. Yes, I will just minimize and again open this. Yes, so you can see in the message box as B4, and let's check, cross check. So Paul 3 is at B4. Okay, so it will close the file. So in this way we can get the cell address for any particular value using the command find. So this is it for all the, not I can say all. So this is a overview of the Excel commands that we have explored till now. And in the same way, you can explore the Excel basic as well. And just make sure if you are opening any Excel file or in between performing any operations, then go with the Excel advanced or Excel basic, whatever the activities that you're using. Don't combine basic and advanced together, otherwise it will bot is going to throw the error. Okay, so just to summarize, let's see it again. So Excel basic and advanced, the major difference is for the basic, if it is not installed, it works. It's a background processing. And for Excel advanced, the Excel should be installed on your machine, and it's a front end processing. Then how to identify different Excels? So we have to use the unique session variables for each Excel file. Then how to read the data, write the data, how to set the cell. Even we can create the worksheet with different name. So just there you have to provide the uh, path and the name of the Excel where you want to create the workbook or worksheet, so that you can do, and then save and close the Excel file and get worksheet as data table. And also we have seen how to loop through data each row using the header and by using the record variable. All right, this is it for this video for the Excel automation. Thank you.